Hey guys, welcome back. Robocraft Early Access coverage. This is episode 93. I'm Ignis, and today it's Let Your Toddler Play Robocraft Day. Actually, it's not that bad. Watch this guy going around the corner, this Megabot. He's going to go past that, and he's going to go through and around. And then I kind of stop, and I'm not really, but he goes with the, he steers up the mountain. And I'm half watching down the valley to see if there's anybody I could shoot at. And the other half, I'm looking at this guy wondering, how in the blue hell is he making such a mess out of something so simple as... It wasn't even really a corner. It was like a bend in an otherwise straight road. It comes down to knowing your bots. And I know I'm being a little bit hard on them, but we're kind of drawing attention to it because it's the kind of mistake that you make once or twice and then hopefully you learn from. Like, for example, if you've got a slope or a berm, as you might call it, on one side of your bot that's going to lift the front tires up, it's going to change the way the bot handles when you lift the front tires up. So maybe if your bot is going to be difficult to control when you go up a berm on one side and the other side is just your front tires spinning in the air, maybe you'll not go driving along those berms anymore. Just go around it. You never know. Sometimes the simplest solution is the best. That having been said, I'm awfully close to this Megabot. I've read a lot about Megabots having a really hard time when hovers kind of go over them. It can potentially flip them, so I am, out of the corner of my eye, trying to keep an eye on him so as to not cause him any sort of problems, flipping his bots or ramming him or doing anything that's going to make his life unnecessarily difficult. Unfortunately, I think he's sort of given up at this point. He had a rough time going around that bend, and now there's enemy bots that it's so much effort to drive forward and shoot them. Especially when you've got all these medics hanging on your every move who are just all too happy to leave you sitting there not really accomplishing a whole lot of anything. So we're cleaning up the enemy bots and the enemy starts capping. Now is a good time for me to head back, just try and interrupt. You can see I've taken some damage on my front end. I'm not really in the best shape, but I want to get at least a hit on this guy and slow down his cap. And of course, the silver leg means he's shooting me through the mountain, which is always fantastic. I always love that part of the day. So I did a little bit of damage to him and interrupted him, and then there were some other teammates that were coming around that also discouraged him. I don't know if they destroyed him. No, it looks like they just discouraged him from sitting on the base anymore. Now I'm taking it from a bomber. I'm down half my guns to begin this fight, and I'm damaged. You can see the thrusters, the area around the thrusters and stuff. We're missing a fairly sizable chunk of our bot. It's very difficult to control my bot. Now I'm completely out of guns, and I'm thinking to myself, well, the enemy is capping, and there aren't that many enemy bots left, so surely someone's going to come around the corner any second now and help me out. I did get a hero bonus from that, I should point out. But not from any tremendous show of skill or daring on behalf of anyone, really. The medics here, when medics don't have megabots to heal, they go around ramming people with Tesla blades. That's sort of the meta. The medic meta is heal the megabot or ram people with Tesla blades. There is no heal the other bots left in that equation anymore. It's just, megabot or bust. Now this match here, I'm kind of pushing up and I'm eyeing the megabot as I go by. I'm sizing him up. How well built is his bot? Is he going to be able to contribute this match? It could be worse. His bot could be worse. At the same time, could stand some improvement as well. There's a lot of I see a lot of focus on megabots lately, running with as many guns as possible, basically turning themselves into gun beds. I mean, it's understandable, but in this case, I thought my whole team was advancing along the southern flank toward the west side of the map, and then we would push through, and that was going to be that. And I didn't realize, because now I'm watching for the enemy, right? I'm in dangerous territory. I'm on the enemy side of the map, relative to where people spawn. So I'm watching out for the enemy. I'm watching out for like red things sticking up over the rocks. And now there's all kinds of bots being spotted over there, and I'm thinking, fantastic, we'll do a little flanking here, and there's going to be some guys pushing through the cave any second now, who will be supports back here. No, they're still all in the southern part of the map. Look at the mini-map. All the blue dots in the southern part of the map. Half of them have barely moved since I started to enter the cave all that time ago. Really just kind of a profoundly obnoxious strategy, I think. But now that we've spotted a bunch of enemies for them and they know where to go, they're slowly pushing their way up the center lane. And at some point they might actually start to damage the enemy. In fact, they're going to do a pretty good job of wrecking the enemy. It's just unfortunate that those of us on the front lines got kind of abandoned when 2/3 of our team just said, no, we're going to wait here for a while. You guys go tell us what's going on. We'll wait here for a while and see what happens. This is the time of the day where I don't want hero bonuses, I want wins, so I can get my daily bonus done. And then after that, we can worry about things like, you know, the hero bonus plus what I got from the match from losing being destroyed is actually not too bad. That's when I don't mind. But now it's kind of like, why is our whole team over on that side of the map not helping at all? There's a rail walker just kind of toddling on by. There's a pirate ship that's chasing me. And again, I'm down to half my guns. I've taken a pretty substantial amount of damage. There are more enemy bots than me. It seems every time I turn around, try and go in a new direction, there's someone else shooting at me. This is not the best situation to be in. It's really probably the worst. When you're taking damage from multiple directions, it means you need to kill some things really, really fast, or you're in very serious trouble. So the pirate ship, it kicked my ass. You know, say what you will about Artbots, he and his pals got the best of me there. Now this one wound up being one of those Bring Your Toddlers Day matches. It's very painful to participate in, and almost as painful to watch again. You can see our drone, I'm assuming that's a drone just from the way he's kind of flying around, spotted a couple of enemy bots, and it doesn't look like they're in too much of a rush to push to the other side. They're all going to be staying towards the glacier side of the map this time around. So I spot a bunch of bots down in the glacier, and of course immediately they start shooting me because the rest of my team is dragging their ass, and they haven't made their presence felt yet. So I'm trying to get away in a position where the glaciers are blocking their fire. That seems like a good idea for me to do. So you can see the bulk of our the bulk of our team is down there. We've got 4 guys clustered in the entrance to that opening for the glaciers, and we've got 2 more guys off to the center area, and then 2 more guys off to the right, the far right. But you notice, if I'm not spotting enemy bots down in that glacier, they aren't getting spotted. Like, when their name tag fades away, when they need to be spotted again, if I don't spot it, they don't get spotted. That was my first clue, is when there's all these bots down in that little glacier, and the entire enemy team, all their name plates faded away, and nobody spotted them until I flew back close enough so that I could see them and spot them. Just look at this. They're all fighting, they're all occupied, but there's not a single damn enemy bot spotted that they're shooting at. It's not okay. It's just... when you're trying to figure out what's going on, you want to see indications that the people on your team are at a comfortable level of mental activity. If they can't spot and shoot at the same time, it's because just figuring out what's going on and, you know, aiming at enemies and shooting at them is all that they can manage. The idea of reaching over and pressing Q with the little pinky finger, it doesn't even register. It's too much. It's too much. And that's, you don't like to see that, because that's, especially when it's an entire cluster of bots that's not spotting. It just means that you're in trouble, because they aren't doing a whole lot of thinking beyond point and shoot. And there's more involved to being successful in games like this than just pointing at enemies and pressing the fire button. So now I'm thinking to myself, I'm not going to be able to take on that whole cluster of enemies that just pushed through our guys. They basically obliterated all of our guys Not surprisingly, the enemy Megabot was there, and judging from the amount of fire that came my way when they spotted me, you know, they had their wits about them to at least some extent. So I figured, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to flop on down here, and I'm going to cap. And I don't care about going back and interrupting, because there's a SMG bot, cruiser or something, you can see pretty much directly in front of the crosshairs. Now he's off to the right of the crosshairs. And I'm thinking, well, all he's got to do is get a few shots in, and if the enemy isn't willing to relocate to come this way to interrupt me, well, then we win. We've got another guy off to the left there. He's down like 21%. He's just barely moving. You know, he's the ejection seat. So, sadly, not particularly useful. But, you know, you can look at it and you can understand there's a reason why he's not either going and interrupting or coming here to spot, or coming here to cap. So maybe I could go interrupt. But the SMG, he never manages to land a shot on any of the guys that are on the enemy base. And that's because the Toddler was doing the steering and the shooting there, and Dad was getting a coffee or something. I don't know. You should be sitting with your kids when they're playing video games, I think, as a parent, and kind of keeping an eye on them, teaching them how to play, you know, helping them out, especially in the team-based stuff. It's great that you're letting them play. Getting them involved in your hobbies is fantastic, but you just stick around with them. Give them a hand. You know, tell them don't queue for any matches when I'm off getting a coffee. Now this is one of those matches, finally, where it's not the boneheadery of our team that stands out as sort of the deciding factor. It's the boneheadery of the Megabot on the other team, and you're going to see this. And I was actually shocked when I saw it, and when I saw the outcome, of course, I was quite pleasantly surprised. So pretty much the whole enemy team is coming out this way, and of course I'm one of the first things they spot, and I'm one of the first things they start shooting at, and that's fine. There's nothing my team can necessarily do about that when they go up the middle like they did. I'm not a fan of going up the middle, but they did in this case, and it's going to work out well for us, so that's cool. But you're going to see the enemy Megabot comes down off the hill and then completely bails on his entire team down here fighting our guys to go around past their base again, and then around the mountain, and then back out the valley that they came through. It's the most unbelievable thing I've seen a Megabot do. Well, aside from, you know, taking 3 tries to go around a bend in the road. But in this case, it's really quite surprising that anyone could do that. Just completely bail on your team. By the time he gets back around to get back into the fight, most of his team is going to be dead. How do you rationalize that strategy? Was he disengaging to go find a medic or something? I don't think there was any reason, but now he's back in the fight, and he's got hardly any support because he left them alone and let our guys make mincemeat out of him. It's just, at least I got my daily done out of this. So I'll let you watch the rest of this. I'll be doing more Robocraft videos as I get the footage, and you know how it works. If you want to be notified when I add those videos, you can subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on social media. Links for that are always in the information section below the video. Please leave your comments and feedback. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.